I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool in FA Cup third round action against Exeter City on Friday night, of all times. Chris Pajak's here, John Machin's here, and Jim Boardman's here as well to discuss this game. Chris, first and foremost, do we actually have any players available for this match?
No.
Pretty much no.
None.
Yeah.
None.
It's mad.
It's going to be a bit of a change side, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel we may make one or two enforced changes and probably several just because for the fuck of it, basically.
Yeah, basically. It's a bit nuts because I'm about to do the starting 11 prediction show after that, and I don't think we've got the players that will be used made up. Yeah. Essentially, there's going to be a few of them that we're probably missing. We may have to print off.
Maybe just do the here's who definitely won't be playing.
Oh yeah, well it's already on the board, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a tricky one, isn't that? Because we were already looking at this like little run of games, Stoke, Exeter, Arsenal, Man United, and saying, well, there's going to have to be some level of prioritisation going on here. We're going to have to rest at some point. And Exeter was always looking like that game.
Exeter was the game where you gave everyone a rest, and now you're not really, because everyone is in hospital, and and basically
bed rest.
Basically what's left gets on the pitch.
Yeah.
Plus a few kids, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
And I think you have to. I mean, for me now, because we've got too many games to play, basically. For me, I wouldn't be unhappy if we went out of the FA Cup, but I don't want to go out of the FA Cup to Exeter.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So you've got to put a team on the pitch.
And the other thing is the BBC want us to go out. That's why we're playing Friday.
You've got to put a team on the pitch who will actually get through that time.
I think
let's get beat by United in the next round.
Yeah.
You know,
I just don't want to give them. I don't want to give football a satisfaction, Jim, of us not winning this game. That's the problem. And look, I don't think Klopp will throw it in any way, shape or form. You know, I saw someone saying before the Stoke game with the team selection that he'd thrown that game, which is ludicrous, because people are just mad, aren't they?
I've noticed.
But yeah, just got a
Once or
feeling
twice.
of that. Like, but yeah, this is one of those that. We look at the FA Cup. I want us to do well in the FA Cup this season. It could be kind of. No, I'm going to be careful how I phrase this, because we lose to these teams all the time in the FA Cup. We lose to teams that we should be beating, particularly in the third round. So we shouldn't take them lightly by any stretch. But I'm kind of glad in some respects that we haven't drawn Arsenal or Man United or whatever in the third round, where we would absolutely have to risk players and throw things in. This is a great opportunity for younger players who are still good enough for us to say, you go out there and you be better than those players, because if you want to play for Liverpool Football Club, you should be better than the players you're coming up against.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got. I mean, I would have said this would have been a good game for Milner to make his comeback after being injured. Get out there, be the captain. You know, you're the senior man here. You're looking after all these kids who are going to be playing alongside you. But this is where you can make a name for yourself as a kid. I mean, you're not going to be playing on the kind of a pitch you might play on at Anfield, but it's a time to make a name for yourself, to be noticed, and whether that's to help your Anfield career or for your career somewhere else further down the line, it's a chance, and that's what you get with the young players as well. It is their cup final in a way, and they play well. So I think there's no danger that Klopp isn't taking the competition seriously. I think he is, but I think whatever team he puts out, he's got to put it out with one eye on the games that are coming up afterwards, which are massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in addition to that, he's not got certain players, as he's got no centre-back, so who's he going to play at the back? Is he going to play two kids who've never played a game at all, or is he going to go with, say, Gianna and Lucas? And if that's the case, then he's going to put in Brannigan into midfield, and so those choices get made for him, I think.
There's a call. You could almost say bring back a few of the old players, but they're all in Australia, so we can't even bring Robbie Fowler back or anything. We can't.
Yes, Stevie and Cara. Oh, I see them on Instagram in the Liverpool training kits at the minute.
John Arnold Rees is made up to have the Liverpool top on. He never thought this would happen again. Just hang on, John. You might be getting a shout in a couple of weeks.
Oh, it is though, but you're right, because the centre back thing. Because the question I've got there, like, can Lucas continue to do a job at centre back? He might have no choice.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, at time of film, we don't know what the situation with regards to Colos is. We're not clear whether it was cramp or it was a hamstring injury, are we? So, I think you know, Kolo Touré would be in there.
He would struggle to play those 2 games.
Oh yeah, he would, but
regardless.
he would have to be in there, I think, if he's fit. It's such an it's an intriguing one because part of me goes just play all 4 new defenders because at least they'll have all played together. But that's ridiculous.
Whoever plays the back 4 for the under 21.
Yeah, like Smith and Randall will have played with the 2 centre backs. You'd assume from the under 21. So do you keep them as a unit and go, there you go, you guys know know each other, play together, but then also you don't want the eyes of the country on you, and that's a huge decision to make, isn't it, from Klopp? And you know he's got a lot of goodwill in the press still at the moment, and you don't want that to turn on him because that does help Liverpool.
Well, look at the Burnley game for Benitez, and how a lot of people never forgave him for that. You know that stuck at the back of him. That was used for the people who started to build up a case against him over the years. That was always one of the things, and you just can't be arsed with doesn't understand the competition, devaluing the competition, blah blah blah. I don't care how we win it. Again, we just need to get through.
But he's got a ready excuse, hasn't he? Because he's got no defenders, and he's lost his most creative midfield player and his best forward. Yeah. So his arguments are there already. But I mean, I agree. I think he'll do everything he can to win it. But I think he's going to struggle because he's going to have a defence which is going to be very weak. Yeah. And you know what it's like against, I don't know, I have no clue about Exeter, I have no idea who plays for them, but I can guarantee they've got someone who's 7 foot tall playing up front.
Yeah.
Well, you keep up on League 2 footy, John.
No, apparently
he's 7 foot tall.
And he left now.
Yeah, 7 foot tall, and he was like, he grew up supporting Liverpool. They've always got to grow up.
Someone with that story, absolutely.
And he works as a painter in his spare time.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah, all that stuff. But I think you're right. The Kolo Touré one's going to be pivotal for this because I've kind of got no problem, well, relatively speaking, with Kolo and Lucas carrying on at centre half if you have to. You're right though that if Touré's out as well.
Yeah, well, Radio Med said this morning that Touré had a hamstring injury as well.
The thing is, if he's not got a hamstring, if he's got cramp or maybe not cramp, another kind of injury though that kind of means he's not going to be fully fit. Do we want to bother risking him on Friday? Because do we not need him more
for Arsenal
next week?
It's true, isn't it?
It's a tough one. Yeah. It's because the other players aren't going to be back. We definitely. I'm pretty sure.
There's a hope Sakho's
not got a hamstring, has he?
Might be back for Arsenal.
It's that soft foul.
It was a knee for Sakho, wasn't
it? So maybe we could get him back, but I think we're still down to the fact that we might still only have one not fully fit centre back. Yeah. To play with.
He might look at 3 at the back.
What? He hasn't got. He can't play 2.
You're literally going to use Klein on one side or something.
The other option we keep forgetting because he's not done it. He's not really bothered with him. Is Chan? Could we just try Chan at centre back in this one?
But again, you're then getting further up the pitch, and you'll have to do this on you.
I'm dreading it. I can't even do it when we've got no injuries.
Let's guide you through it. But
I'm sorry, someone came up to us in the match last night and was like, he came up with his phone and he had the Start 11 predictions show on. He was like, did you get it right? And I went, I put Boardman in goal, mate. You went, fucking hell, Chris. And just like walked off, basically.
Yeah, that was still a very reasonable shout, But, in terms of, so you maybe got Lucas and Chan at centre half, dear Christ. I think you'd probably play Smith in this one anyway, instead of Moreno. I'd keep Klein in.
Is Flanagan ready? Is Flanagan? I don't know. With that 45 minutes, is that enough to play a game like this?
Two lots of
I think he's short games.
I do.
You know what'd be nice if Flanagan was on the bench?
Yeah.
For this, but I suspect he'll probably get like a month of under 21 runs out.
Yeah, on the bench though would be good. If he has under 21 runs, but if he on the bench Friday, come on for the last half hour and just sort of settle the nerves. If we have any young defenders playing,
I just suspect he's hasn't been out for that long. Yeah, I would keep him away from the first team for a month, and get as many minutes in general, and then put him on the bench if you need to. He's such a high intensity player, isn't he? You know what I mean? He doesn't do I'll just ease myself back into this. Yeah. He's probably fatally, mortally wounded about 3 people in 40 minutes worth of appearances.
The thing is, Arsene Wenger's more or less said he's going to play his second string, in the cup, to give his other players a chance to rest and recuperate for the Premier League. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I don't think anyone should be concerned if Klopp decides this is a game to play the kids.
Can I just put something out there though? Does it matter if we beat Arsenal? Is it really not? I know everyone.
Yeah.
Look, I know everyone's
I know
clinging on to this top 4 thing, and look, obviously, yeah, it should be our ultimate ambition. But realistic, in terms of realism, is the FA Cup not more important than we're probably? Let's be honest, we're probably going to finish 5th or 6th at best in the league this season.
I was asked the other day. I was asked on the radio. Out of the next 4 games, so this was Stoke, Exeter, Arsenal, United. Which of those 2, if you could only win 2 of those games, which 2 would you want to win? So I said, well, I could live without us winning against Stoke because we still got the second leg, and I could live without us winning against Arsenal because the team that we maybe need to get past the most is United because they're our rival for an attempt at a top 4 place. We're not going to overtake Arsenal, are we? I don't think. You know, they're not going to be the team that it's not going to be between us and them for top 4.
It's more, and again, in terms of league form, it's nice because they give you a great boost, and they're the games you actually remember, which is why I'm not saying let's throw the Arsenal game. That's ludicrous, but in terms of it, Liverpool's problems in the league are not going to be dependent on beating Arsenal. If we're going to finish in top 4, we're going to have to learn.
I've got to disagree. I've got to say, if there's one of these 2 games, I'd go with Arsenal because, quite frankly, I could live without the extra games in the cup because we're still in, the European competition. We're still in the Capital One Cup. Those FA Cup games are going to pile up at a time when in the Premier League we could have a chance.
I agree with that, but also the fact is we're playing League 2 Exeter.
Yeah.
I mean, you should not have to worry about whether you can beat them or not. Whoever you put out.
I think
they've lost their last 4 league games.
Yeah.
They're not in good form.
Oh, they're not good, but as they say, Chris,
they're not in good form.
What did they say though?
I don't know.
The form book goes out the window in cup
It's a
times.
great leveler.
Yeah, exactly. All that bollocks. But it's.
But they should be better now in the 21, so we're the underdogs.
Yes. But this is the thing is that I think in terms of personnel, look, we're absolutely all of our players are better than all of their players, and our manager's better, and all that kind of stuff. The thing that we will the way we could come undone is just that not being a coherent team because of the fact that we've got odd players playing in odd positions and stuff, and for whatever they are a side that play together on a regular basis. It plays probably in the positions that they've trained all their lives to play in, as opposed to us throwing centre mids into centre back and crossing our fingers and hoping for the best.
I think I'd like us to go out and win it and try to win it, but I don't think I'd be upset if we didn't. I think that's the way you're looking at it. What I would be upset about is if we drew. Because then we get a replay and we can't afford that.
I think we've scheduled for 7 games in January, and it would take us to 9 if we went to a replay in that.
Yeah. If you get a replay and win it,
you then
you've got your 4th round game.
9 games. I mean, it's like completely off topic, so you'll hate this, Paul. But what's the better achievement? Is it winning the treble in 2001 because you've literally played every single game you can possibly play? Or winning the Champions League in 2005. Because Carragher and Gerrard, I saw this on Premier League Greatest. Carragher, they have 2 completely different things on it. One thought one and one thought the other, and it got me thinking.
I think 2001.
Yeah. Said it was a much better. He thought it was a much better achievement because he played every single game possible.
Yeah.
And Gerrard was like, "Nah, it's the European Cup."
In terms of this season, and I think what it boils down to, the more and more I look at it, I don't think we're going to finish top 4 this season. I just think we're too. Even though it's only 6 points to Spurs are in great form. Yada yada. I think there's too many teams to overhaul. I think, and in terms of this team's development, I'd rather us not sacrifice the league, just continue to tick over, continue to learn about the league. But if we were to do it, and again, it's fucking ridiculous. It's still a ridiculous ask. But if we want to be true trophies. A cup treble this season, like to replicate 2001, would be loads more important to this team and to us as fans, I think, than scraping into a Champions League and being not ready and not good enough.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're doing the cup treble, what you do in the league, because you're in the Champions League then anyway.
Paul's almost answered your question then though about which was better, the 2001 or the 2005, because you're talking about a cup treble, and then that's getting us ready for next season when we want to win the big things, which are the league. Or the Champions League. I think in 2001, that should have been the step to greater things, and it wasn't, was it? We kind of almost went backwards after that. 2005 perhaps should have been a step to greater things, but we started off great, didn't we?
But 2001 though has set the foundations, didn't it? You know, in terms of the players in there, your Gerrards and
your experience
and
gained
in 2005. Some months after we won the Champions League in 2005, I was in Istanbul, and I went into a jeweller's shop, and I was just sort of standing around while people we were with were looking at things, and I got talking to an assistant, and he was an American who was like on sort of loan to learn his trade. And he said to me, when he found out I was from Liverpool, he said, Steven Gerrard injured for the first game. And that's what the Champions League does.
Yeah.
An American actually interested, not just in football, but interested in Liverpool because we'd won the Champions League. Yeah. We became famous again. Yeah. We'd had to reinvent ourselves. The 2001 stuff was great for us as supporters, but for our image around the world, the Champions League was the big thing. And it also earned us a lot more money.
True, but I think that...
What's the bigger achievement then?
Champions League.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know, we don't sing songs about our UEFA Cup wins, do we? To be perfectly honest.
Well, what do Real Madrid want to do every year? Do they want to win their cup or win their league? No, they want to win the Champions League.
Basically,
sack your manager, in fact, even if you win the Champions League, sack your manager.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think the Champions League is it, isn't it? So it probably is. But I mean, again, just to spin it back to us now in this season, I would like to see us I'd like to see us replicate the 2001 style season, short term, because to even think we're so far away from being winning a Champions League, it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, you look at the teams, look at Bayern Munich, Barcelona, you know, the teams that the best in the world, and we are a bazillion miles away from those teams. If we played Barcelona like in February, they would kill us. They would absolutely, you know what I mean? So, again, you're right. Off topic, but I enjoyed it, Chris, nevertheless. Just back to this game, Friday night.
I'm hoping Benteke plays.
Yeah?
I think it's about time he got a start.
He might play in the back. He might play centre-back.
Centre-back, yeah. Or just help out the centre-backs when he's not.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to have to play, really.
Yeah, and then, you know, you make a choice about Firmino and Lallana, whether they can get whether they can get a Joe Allen. And then
what would you think if Enrique played left centre back?
No.
I think I was dreaming. I'd taken something I shouldn't have done.
Yeah. I'd be
Could you imagine
I'd be consulting a doctor pretty shortly. Yeah.
Enrique
and
with Colo
I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, Jesus. So I think I just want to talk about briefly, like the fact that this game's on a Friday night. I said first and foremost, I think we've been set up to fail, because everyone loves a good cup upset, don't they? But equally, the fact that it's in Exeter on a Friday night and it's not possible for away fans to get back on the night is just pathetic. It's another example of the FA and the Premier League basically not working together and basically colluding in a reverse collusion to ruin both of their competitions in some respects, because...
Well, the FA always do. We've been talking about this for years. They devalue their competitions. They've always... I don't know why they do it. It's fucking ridiculous. But
it's frustrating in the way that they'll
yeah, well, I was just going to say, they should be down the throats with like Rafa or whatever. It's the old Blazers, the people in the shirt and ties, the old FA types with the badge on the blazer, you know, really having a go at the likes of Benitez for not taking the competition seriously. They want to look a bit closer to home, you know, because they don't take it seriously themselves.
Well, look, the fact of the matter is, look,
the last train home leaves at half-time.
Yeah, I know.
Half-time and gets in 6 o'clock the next morning with just a 3-hour stopover in Birmingham New Street.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised, because last time we were in the cup final, the same thing happened. You couldn't get a train back from Wembley on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Then again, that happens to me sometimes trying to get home from Anfield, so the trains are that crap.
But it's pathetic.
Blame the FA, Jim.
But again, it's all that thing as well. And again, you look at it, Liverpool and Arsenal, two of the teams with the biggest pedigree in this competition. Arsenal won it 2 years on the bounce. I've got a massive game for 4 days, 5 days later, you know what I mean, for both sides. Midweek, just after it. Why is the Premier League? Why are the Premier League scheduling games just after this? It's a joke. It's all pathetic. I like Friday night football in general. I don't mind it if I'm going like the home games. A couple of years ago, we had like Newcastle and we had like Oldham around that period, and I really liked going them games because you can finish work, go to the pub, go straight to the game. You set up for it. You can just make a night of it that way. Whereas, you know, it's harder at the weekend or whatever. But again, for the away fans, I never really considered the away fan perspective so much from that. But, you know, from this, when you think about these guys who are supposed to, the fans in the ground that what make it, and they've been completely and utterly shit upon because to the BBC and the FA, it's far more important to have people watching the game at home, which is an absolute...
It's not just the FA as well. Bournemouth have played twice night games at Anfield this season, and you feel for them because that's ridiculous as well, you know, and they can't even get there after work. You've got to take a day off work and stuff to get there.
I think, I like the idea of Friday night football in the sense of, you know, it's a good way to start the weekend, but the only way you could do it regularly you'd have to have like local teams, wouldn't you? You know, like
it's terrible for people who want to travel and see their team, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Because particularly if you've got a job and you'd need a job to be able to afford it, probably. You know, how can you possibly get from work to Exeter on a Friday night? Not just that, Swansea. How do you get to Swansea on a Friday night?
Yeah, no, that's true. All this FA bashing aside, me and Dad are going to be over on FA TV YouTube channel this week, counting down our top 5 Liverpool FA Cup moments.
That's the best segue of your career. The best segue of your career.
Do go and check that out over on the FA TV YouTube channel. It's going to be very, very good. Anyway, let's have some score predictions, Jim. How do you think it's going to go?
I think actually we're gonna the nerves will get settled. We're bound to concede, but I think we'll win 3-1 somehow.
Good. Yeah.
I have no idea.
We'll
Depends on the team they've put out.
Just say 2
it
numbers.
Could be 6-1. And then again, we might win. I'd say 3-0.
Okay.
I 1-0.
Yeah, I'll have a 1-0. I'll have another 1-0, please.
It's going to be like Wimbledon last season, AFC Wimbledon last season, I think, something like that.
Something like that. I a towering header up from the back from Lucas Leiva. Scores his first, breaks his duck for the season.
Going up for corners because he's a centre half.
Absolutely. Yeah. There you go. You heard it here first. Anyway, leave us your predictions in the comments below. Your thoughts on anything we've discussed as well. Do check out the Transfer Weekly show on the redmentv.com. Obviously, Liverpool apparently on a quest for centre halves, which has been largely highlighted by much of the discussion on this show. Go and check that out, as well as the normal subscriber content. Completely free for a month. Do it. If you like it, you can keep it. It's just £2 a month, etc., etc. Give this video a thumbs up, thoughts below, and we'll see you post-Exeter.
Back one. The back one. Are you a PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.